Hilarious.
Oh, wait a minute. Come on, LinkedIn. Wait a minute and try again. Okay.
It says we're live.
Yeah, but it's also saying error occurred on LinkedIn. It's
You got to read.
usually temporary. Wait a minute to try again. It's really annoying. I guess there's a lot of people trying to get
Streaming,
on. Yep.
which is really weird. It seems like LinkedIn should have just turned this thing live on everybody during this time of pandemic.
You would think, although I think we still are live everywhere else, so we'll just play along because it is watching Amazon and we are live, even if it isn't LinkedIn live, at least not yet.
Yeah, LinkedIn is. Are we in?
Yeah, we're not in on LinkedIn yet. We are in on Periscope, YouTube, Facebook.
There's nobody on Periscope.
That's just ignorant. Actually, when I did my Name That Tune thing, most of the responses were coming from Periscope.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, Twitter's Twitter.
Yes, it is. All right. So who are you?
I'm the Bo Wonderco one, John Colder Ice Lawson.
All right. There it is, folks. That's who he is. I am Brent Leary. There it is. See, I'm getting with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh wow. Okay. And then Alan
said, "What's Periscope?"
What's Periscope? Well, that's just showing a lack of respect for those guys, apparently. But
it's an old folks channel.
Well, then you ought to know all about it. Then, so that's there you go.
I just told you what it is, didn't I?
Yeah. Well, you know from personal experience.
You know what?
That's right.
Right. All of a sudden, my sunlight went away.
Well, and Bill Withers ain't no sunshine when whatever. Anyway. All right. Well, while you fix that, we're gonna actually do what we supposed to do, which is watch Amazon.
All right, what you got? Because I ain't got nothing.
How do you not have anything?
There's not all that much going on.
Oh, there's a lot going on. Are you kidding me? One of the things that caught my attention.
What's that?
After the earnings thing, and what it went down 7 or 8% immediately right after the earnings report.
Then bounced.
There were people that were I guess disappointed in $75 billion for the quarter. That sounds like a pretty good number to me, but there were people that were.
Have you heard people being negative on that issue alone? I haven't really heard that.
Oh, wait a minute. I got to hold up. Who is Meredith Crosby?
You know what?
Who is this person?
Don't be bashing because you're a hater.
Who is this person?
Meredith is a wonderful, wonderful woman that follows me on Facebook. And she thinks I'm smart. Obviously,
Meredith. Let me just talk to Meredith for a second. You just pipe down a little bit. Let me just talk to Meredith for a minute. Meredith, first of all, thank you for listening. I am always happy to have somebody join us on watching Amazon. Now, the reason, all I can say is, Meredith, you need to associate and talk to way more people than apparently that you do. I'm only just going to leave it at that. There are some really smart people out in the world, Meredith. Please start engaging them. They would love to talk to you. I'm just saying. All right. All right. And Alan, of course, this is actually kind of funny because I literally less than an hour ago got done recording a podcast for Alan. Alan has his C4L podcast. Do you know what C4L stands for, by the way?
Who? Me?
I'm asking Meredith.
Oh,
I'm
asking you. Asking Alan.
No, okay. Alan knows what it stands for.
So what's the question? C4 what?
What do you know what C4L stands for? That's the name of his podcast.
Oh, no. No.
Customer
for life.
For there it is. So it's C.
I knew it was for life. I didn't know what the C would be.
Okay. It's catchy, and it's not spelled all out. It's spelled C, the number 4.
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
There it is.
Everybody else knows what hashtags look like, but okay. For
I
older
just
people
thought,
like you.
no, yeah, for older people. I said that because it was really fun to be on Alan's podcast, especially since I actually named his podcast.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's one thing you're good at. I'll give you that.
Thank you. I'll take it.
That's the one thing he's probably good.
All right. So anyway, getting back to watching Amazon.
All right, what you got?
So there was, after all of that, that happened after the earnings report, the initial knee jerk, and now it seems to be, lifting back up again. There was an article that came out last week. Now, get this. You know whereabouts the stock price is right now, right?
No, I can go look at it. I'm gonna go look right now.
Yeah, it's right around what, the 21.
That's what I said. It bounced back.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. They're like 21, 22. It's like in the low twos, isn't it?
It's 2162.
2162. Okay, so there is a person out there, an analyst, one of those analysts on Seeking Alpha. Do you want to care to guess where he thinks the stock price is going to be by 2024?
By 2024?
By 2024, he has a stock.
It'll split by then.
Yeah, but don't worry about just go on the current pricing of today. Where do you think it'll be?
Where do I think, or where do I think he said it would be?
Okay, where do you think he said it's going to be?
Okay, where he probably said it was going to be, I'm going to guess he said it would double. So at 4,000.
That's a pretty good guess. Did you read that article?
No, I didn't read the article, but I mean,
okay.
That's in line with what I think a lot of people feel.
That's a close. So we're at 2020 by 2,100 and change.
Yep.
He's saying by 2024, which is just 4 years away.
Yep.
He expects it to not only double, he expects it to be 4,900.
Okay.
That's almost 2.5.
Well, I mean, if you look at like 2018, they were at 1,000. So in 2 years,
that's good. Yeah. So that was 2 years. So he's saying it'll take 4 years.
Right.
But it'll be a double and a half, basically 2.5.
Yeah.
That's
astounding. I think it might be that.
That's for a company that size. So just think about the revenue implications for that. Because right now they're what about
that size? How big is this in compared to other companies?
Well, the current revenue, they're what, closing in on 300 billion a year in annual revenues, something like that.
Right.
So we're talking about roughly revenues going to 750 billion in just 4 years. That's amazing kind of numbers at the scale of what Amazon is operating at. Now, overall revenues, have they passed Walmart in overall revenues already? Or are they like on the cusp of it? Or
let's see. No. What are their revenues?
I think their revenues are somewhere between 200 and 3, maybe between 250 and 3. That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking their revenues, annual revenues around that.
So, I mean, no, Walmart is 524.
So do you think by 2024, Amazon will have passed Walmart?
Possibly. I mean, because you think about it, I mean, Amazon is not just retail. Will their retail portion pass Walmart? No. Will their grocery pass Walmart? No. Will their overall, with all the things they're into? Possibly.
Well, you got to take that into consideration because the article clearly points out that the main driver for the stock price doubling, at least, it's AWS.
Right, for now.
Right. Well, AWS, I think, is by far, and I don't know where digital ads how that's gonna snap back. Although there's an article that we posted that says that's gonna be growing like crazy. But AWS is a main driver. I don't know about anything that they may do other acquisitions, of course, like they've done. But AWS is such a killer part of their business because not only does it drive revenue, it drives profitable revenue. It drives their profit margins up. And so if the stock price gets to 4,900 by 2024, it's going to be revenues have gone up dramatically, but it's going to be the revenues from AWS driving a significant part of that revenue increase.
Well, yeah. I don't think the revenue has to double for the stock market price to double either, though.
No, that's true, but you know, the whatever those ratios, the sales to price ratio, that's going to go crazy if a company that size of Amazon, if the revenues don't stay kind of in lockstep with the price increase that we're talking about.
Yeah.
So, all right. So forget this guy's estimate. What's your prediction? What do you think is going to happen 4 years from now after all this pandemic
I mean, that's way too far in the future. As far as just stock prices go.
Yeah, I know.
I could see it doubling in 4 years. Yeah. Let's put it like this. I could see the value of the company doubling in 4 years, because you figure like this: if they get a foothold in another major market, and there's several major markets they're going after, but I mean, if they really get a foothold in Europe, not just only in Germany, that right there could make up a whole lot. You're talking about India coming online. If that starts working out in India, huge. China, they've never been successful in China, but you never know. They could actually purchase something that's already doing well in China and get an inroad that way. So there's a lot of opportunity for Amazon everywhere you go in the world to see revenues grow. So I don't think that's out of the sorts at all.
Do you think that their growth is going to be so much beyond the average growth of a company? Like, do you see Walmart growing like that?
Do I see Walmart growing like? I think Walmart is going to grow like that as they get more into the offline world and in e-commerce. I think they're going to see some good numbers coming out of that as they mature. Do I see them doubling again? No. I mean, Walmart's a little older, and mature.
But not in their online e-commerce part of the business.
But we're talking about Amazon not being able to double online e-commerce, maybe.
The AWS part.
Yeah. So, but no, I could see Walmart. Let's say, in comparison, I could see Walmart adding a third, 50% by that in 4 years.
What about something like Alibaba? Do you think there's an opportunity for them?
Kill it.
Do you think they will surpass Amazon by 2024?
If Amazon is, let's just put it like this: we know how many Asians there are in the world, right? And then you throw India on top of that, right? So you got Asians, and Indians are actually Asians considered.
Yeah, there's Southern Asia.
Right. So I mean, that space and the way they know that space and the things that they're doing on the inside, I mean, they are an amazing company. So, that's
and they have a web services.
Yeah, they're a definite spoiler for Amazon's push into Southeast Asia.
All right. Let's take a minute to say hello to Ellen Bloomer. She's back with us again.
Hey, Ellen.
Ellen, I just got to ask you, because I know you know Mr. Colder Ice, but I just have to ask you, after seeing what Meredith said, is the reason that you're here because John Colder Ice lost in the cold one, the bold one? Is it because he's smart? I mean, you can tell us. I can take it too if it is.
She doesn't have no idea what you were talking about, but is the reason you're asking because you know I'm smart and just don't want to admit it?
That's definitely not the reason I'm asking. I'm just curious. I just
Oh,
find it.
funny.
I just find it, curious. That's all.
You're
Anyway,
funny.
so let's talk about another article that I saw that is looking for another company to be a competitor to Amazon. Let me pop this up because I'm like, yeah, this is a stretch, but maybe, in some point, maybe this will happen. Can Shopify build an e-commerce marketplace? And let's see, I want to make sure I get the actual title in there. Challenge Amazon. Can Shopify challenge Amazon?
Well, Shopify tried to or is trying to build a fulfillment center for their sellers.
Right.
And will that be a player? I mean, that's what they want to do. Let's put it like this. Can they do it? Maybe.
They're starting from a wave.
No.
They're starting from a ways back. I don't know. I mean, I think they could probably do damage because they're coming at it from a different angle than like the big dudes are. They're smaller. They can be nimble. They can do things. They can try things. I think it's going to be fascinating to see. I'm surprised they haven't been bought by now because all the other ones have been bought for the most part. I mean, Marketo. What's that?
By who?
Well, Magento got bought by Adobe. Salesforce bought Demandware. They bought Cloud Craze. Oracle bought ATG. Of course, SAP bought Hybris. So a lot of those significant players in commerce have been, snapped up.
Yeah, but those were all cheap comparatively.
No, not necessarily because Magento, I think, was $1 billion. Hybris, I don't know how much Hybris was. ATG was bought so many years ago. I can't remember how much they
was
were.
bought how long ago?
That was just last year or either 2019 or at the end of 2018. Yeah, it hasn't been that long.
Yeah. I mean, none of them have that much market share that Shopify has.
Yeah, but it's really I just don't know if a standalone can make it without having the big resources behind them that some of these other companies do. That's kind of that's where I'm at now. I think it'd be a great story if they did stay independent and they were able to find this niche and then hit it to a point where they could really be considered a contender. But I think it's just going to be hard because we just talked about Amazon has tentacles in so many different areas. Like you can't overlook AWS. You can't overlook what's going on with their digital platform, marketing platform. You don't know, they got this whole hardware device thing. And of course they got all the other stuff, the retail. Shopify doesn't have all that could support their traditional commerce stuff. That's why I think it's going to be what they're known for. They're the marketplaces, having their third-party sellers. I mean, Amazon has that, but they also have AWS. They also have their digital ad marketing platform. They also have their hardware devices. They got money coming from all the different angles, and Shopify doesn't, at least not yet.
Well, I mean, it's a different model completely. So, you more than anything, I think Shopify has to convince their third-party independents on the value of being a marketplace seller.
Yeah.
It's like if I've already got my, if I'm already making, 10 million in sales from my Shopify store, why do I want to give you more share of that money? And introduce my customer to competing customers in a marketplace?
I think now is a great time for Shopify to make that argument because of some of the things that Amazon has been going through with their, third-party sellers. You know better than me. They're still not happy with the way Amazon cut them out
Well,
for
I
a
mean,
couple of weeks.
Shopify needs to be telling third-party Amazon sellers, "Hey, now's the time to build your Shopify store.
Yeah, exactly. This is the time to dig
Another
into
marketplace that it might screw you later."
that. Yeah, that too.
That too.
There are certain messages like, yeah, you have your own third-party product. You sure you want to sell that on Amazon? It could be going away.
I mean, eBay was Amazon 10 years ago, as far as third-party sellers are concerned, where they made a lot of changes and it hurt a lot of businesses. They were doing this thing called trust and safety was launching off, and trust and safety was a very heavy-handed method for them to regulate who could sell and what could be sold and how you could deal with customers. And Amazon has always been pretty heavy-handed, but I think in the recent times, and one of your stories that I don't know if you have that on there, where they're talking about dealing with not the TSA, but some government regulations on who's selling fake, all
Actually,
of this.
perfectly timed because that was the next thing up.
Yeah. Okay. So this is so reminiscent of what happened during this time with trust and safety being put together for eBay. And it's just like I've been down this road before. A lot of people are going to get hurt by just, the computer making the wrong decision based on, and a lot of these companies run on very tight money. It's all about cash flow. And when the cash stops flowing, they immediately have a cardiac arrest.
So yeah, I totally agree. Now's the time. I mean, if you got something like we were talking about Walmart rolling out that 2-day delivery, this is the time to start doing stuff if you're trying to take on the king, because the king is distracted with some of the things that it's not working out for them right now. This is the time to be jumping all over. So Shopify, whatever you've got, you better put it down now. Just like Walmart should, put it down now.
Yeah, exactly. Start staking out the grounds and diversifying a little bit. And you never know what's going to pop off. Because I was just thinking about this the other day. And I think we are now in our economy, just in general, we are not in a reset. We are in a reboot, And there's a difference between resetting your computer and rebooting your computer, right? And I think the economy is on reboot, where everything that Amazon had as a leader position is sort of not leader anymore. Anybody can now become the leader on this other side of coronavirus. I really believe that everything has been shaken up so much in business that nothing is guaranteed. Just because you were the market leader in XYZ before does not mean post-COVID you're going to be the winner. We have no idea what's going to go on. So now,
there's a lot more unknown than there ever has been. But I will say this, there is still Amazon, because of the brand value that they've created over the 2 decades. They're still going to be the one people look at first for some kind of action.
Absolutely.
But while they're still hunting around, this is a good time.
To get
your stuff together.
Let's put it like this: there's more crumbs on the floor than there used to be.
That's a good
with Amazon, right?
And bigger crumbs. There's a lot more.
Bigger crumbs.
There you go.
Bigger crumbs.
All right, there it is. That's good. All right, so Ellen answered. So let's go back to Ellen. I'm okay with this. Ellen said, I asked Ellen a question. I asked her, is she coming here for the brilliance of John Cold Rice Lawson, the cold one, the bold one, John Cold Rice Lawson. That's it. Make sure I say that. And her answer is yes. John knows his stuff as far as the internet and selling and marketing. That's why I'm here. I sell on Amazon. I sell on other sites, and I enjoy listening to. Oh, she did say your perspective, so I'm glad I got in there. I got the your part, but I understand it. I understand it.
So what does she say that says John knows what?
Some stuff.
Oh,
she says his stuff. I changed it. I like some stuff.
See, so I'm going to go back and grab this video and get a testimonial from you out of your mouth.
Oh God!
Because it's reading nerves.
I'm blaming Meredith and Ellen for that. No, I need to blame Ellen a little bit more because her statement is what set me off. Quite honestly, but that's okay. I understand it. You do know your stuff. I can admit to that. You do.
That's right. And
you do know stuff.
You made up the bold one, the cold one. I'll admit to that.
Yes, I did. Just like I made up C4L.
I know. That's what you do. You do that.
That's what I do.
That's
all right.
It.
So did you want to talk about this? Because at first you were the one that was all over this thing here, the blacklisting thing.
I mean, I can only talk about how they're going to respond. At this point, I mean, because it's been done, it's not going to get undone. Amazon is going to have to deal with this, at least, in those areas to make those countries feel more comfortable with the content that is available on Amazon. Nobody wants to be called a, fake good seller, and especially by your own government. So Amazon definitely has some. They got some work to do to undo the stain on their name.
All right.
It's that stupid, response.
All right, so let's expand this out. Do you see this as the first step in terms of Amazon basically saying, look, we've been like pretty silent as we've been getting pilloried by the government on a number of different fronts? Is this, I mean, we've got, the post office stuff. We've got the Jedi Department of Defense $10 billion contract stuff. We've got this. Is this where Amazon says, you know what? We stood it for as long as we could. We can't stand it no more. And now it's time to fight back. We're going to start fighting back on all fronts. Do you see that happening?
Not totally. I think they're going to probably soften a little bit and try to get in line with whatever regulations they need to have in place so that they don't. I think this is easy for them to navigate by putting in certain stop gates that they probably needed to have anyway.
I don't know. I mean, I forgot to mention that, I think it's a senator that wants Bezos to testify in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee. I mean, they're coming at him from Amazon from all the sides, all dimensions. Is it going to be a point where they're going to be like, look, we are tired of this. We just going to start taking all this off. We're not going to be silent any longer. We're going after you. We're coming after you. Do you see that happening?
How are they going? Who's coming after who? Amazon's
like
coming.
Amazon is like, look, you're coming at us from the Judiciary Committee.
Right.
You're telling me, you're trying to blame us for the Postal Service. You're trying to put us on blacklisted sites. I mean, this stuff is going on quite a bit now. Is there any way that Amazon says, look, we've been kind of nice. We've been, not responding to a lot of this stuff, but now we're going to have to.
Well, I think they already have the plan in place. They're going to go poof.
Is the warm weather just going to make it all go away?
It's going to make it all go away. But I mean, look, they're going to break up. That's it. They already have the plan in place.
On their own? Do you think they're going to break up on their own?
I think if the heat gets too hot, they're just going to break up.
Well, let's see. You know what?
Why do we need to stay together?
My thing is this. The way I see it, I think it all depends on what happens on November 3rd or 2nd.
Yes.
Whatever the first Tuesday in November is.
Right.
Because
I don't see that changing, though. I definitely see the personal beef definitely changing if the president's not at the helm. But 90% of this is not driven by him.
I don't know, man.
I said putting it on the list definitely was driven by him. But I mean,
the Jedi contract. You don't think he had a say in that Jedi contract award?
Okay, yeah, he did.
And the Postal Service?
Not really.
He's saying, I will not give any money to the Postal Service unless they increase their.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, but that's him. That's coming from him. That's not coming from anybody else.
That's all hype. What I'm saying is the real threat to Amazon is the Congress. That's the real threat, and I don't think that's going to change. I see both sides of the aisle are not happy with the doings of Amazon and how much they have spread their tentacles into all of these other industries. It's not really about Amazon, the package delivery people. That's what Trump thinks Amazon is all about. But you and I know they have their tentacles in so many areas. And that
he knows. But he knows because he's the one that put the finger on the scale for Microsoft in the Jedi contract, the $10 billion technical service. That has nothing to do with retail, and that had nothing to do with the U.S. Post.
Heard the words though. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be funny. He doesn't study very much, so he doesn't know what he doesn't know, right? I mean, he's the only reason why he says that about the United States Postal Service is because he heard that they deliver the packages. It's not like he really knows the intricacies of all that. So that's what I'm saying. Those things, they have effect, but and of course, Justice Department, he runs that, or not that, but the Defense Department, he runs that,
Right.
But having him out of the way, and I don't think they're going to get the Defense Department thing back. I don't think they're ever going to get that back.
Yeah, I think that I don't think so.
I think they're looking for
Microsoft has all the capabilities needed to fulfill that contract. It's not like they weren't worthy of winning that contract.
Right.
You're right.
Right. So I don't think they might win some compensation. There might be shown some favoritism or somebody meddling in it, but I don't see that backtracking and all of a sudden they getting the contract.
I have to say, if the first Tuesday in November goes one way, there's some immediate pressure taken off. Not saying all the pressure is taken off, but certain immediate pressures will be taken off. But if it goes the other way, this dude has 4 years and no worry about being elected again to think about how to screw Amazon. And that is going to be a big issue if that's the case.
I think so. He'll find ways to put bumps in the road for sure. But I mean, and like I said, both sides are into trying to break up Amazon. I mean, that was Elizabeth Warren's, rally cry.
Hey, Bernie, Elizabeth, AOC.
Yes. So I don't see Amazon having like a too big of a party, even if their candidate doesn't win.
But think about that. What other entity can pull together AOC, Bernie, Beth, and the current resident of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue?
Yeah.
That's a feat. As many things as Amazon has done in its past, that might be the most surprising.
Hey, even coronavirus haven't brought all those people together.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it takes a special brand of hate
It really does.
to bring all those four together. That's some stuff right there.
Yeah. So it is. They've got issues, man, and I think they have already. They're like, man, we know we got to break this up at some. I think if you're Amazon, don't you see the train coming? You see the light coming. You have to.
Yeah, it's coming from a number of fronts.
Yeah. Yeah. There's always something around the corner, somebody trying to get at you.
Man, that's deep. This was a good one. This was a good, and I'm glad, Meredith and Ellen were able to join us. Of course, Alan. And, Ellen, Meredith, thanks for coming and listening to John. He is a very smart individual.
Yeah, thank you, guys. But they're here for both of us.
That's
now,
quite all right.
Now.
Okay. All right. Well, I believe Ellen. I don't know about Meredith. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see if she comes back next week. We'll see.
You're so crazy.
All right. This was a good one. I enjoyed this one. It seems like we're getting back on par. We're making our way through.
I will. One thing I think that is, it'll be interesting. I mean, once we get back to, meeting together, can we continue this? I think part of it has something to do with not being in the same room.
We're gonna have to leave that for another show because that's going to take more than just a one-off line to talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
All right, we'll do that next week.
All right, my friend.
Next Wednesday at 1-ish.
15-ish.
1:15. It started out 1-ish. Now it's 1:15-ish.
Yeah.
But we will be back. That's the most important thing.
See you guys.
Right. See ya.